are being targeted for burglaries, allegedly by a South American international theft ring. I want to take a look at that. It's been in major news channels, it's been on the vlog circuit, and once I started doing some research into this type stuff, it gets really, really deep. I want to welcome y'all. It's the LG Experience. This is Podcast Talk, and I am your host, Mr. LG. I want to thank y'all for joining me once again as I keep this thing rolling. Like I always say, I enjoy doing this, so I hope you all are enjoying this. And I'm very thankful for the few people who have listened to this channel so far. Right about now, I want y'all to do me a favor. I want y'all to click that like button, click that subscribe button. It does help the channel out. Clicking the like button helps the algorithm of this channel. I appreciate it. As I dive into this topic right here, it gets really, really deep. Turkey Day is coming soon. So I hope that everybody enjoy the holidays that's coming up this week. There's going to be a lot of football going on. I'm a Detroit Lions fan, and we are marching straight through the regular season right now. We've been on the tear, met up with another challenging team. We was able to overcome that, so it's looking pretty good. And I just want to say we're not scared of nobody in this league. A lot of people... Patrick Mahomes is one of the people I will be discussing on this podcast. But, as far as the NFL goes, as a Detroit Lion fan, we are not scared of Patrick Mahomes. He's a very good player, probably the best player in the league. Like I say, I hope everybody get with their family with Turkey Day coming up very soon in a couple of days. And I hope y'all fill y'all bellies up and pray for the people who have less. Just to let the audience know, I like to give commentary on current affairs. I like to talk about the money game too, because I do a lot of, I'm rebuilding my portfolio right now in stocks and cryptocurrency. So I like to talk about money and give commentary on that, pop culture and, trending topics that goes along on the vlog circuit. You can get caught up talking about hip hop artists all the time and what's going on with them, basically the downfalls of these people. And a lot of these stories be incredible. It'd be unbelievable with the stuff they get into. But like I said, I don't want to make every podcast about rappers and hip hop artists. A real big light to this story is Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes of Kansas City. But it's been a few big name athletes, if that's what you want to call them, well notable athletes that have suffered or has been the victim of burglary. And the FBI has gotten involved, and they really think it's a South American, well-organized group down there, or gang, or whatever you want to call them, that's actually targeting these athletes. And people know athletes get paid big money. I mean, you're not playing in, I know the NBA, you're not making less, you're going to make a few million. That's just being the last man on the bench making $1 million playing in the NBA who's not getting no playing time. And you got NFL players, they make millions of dollars. They salaries get broadcasted all over the world. A lot of people watch them get that money. And when you have money like that, you tend to buy unique things. And those unique things can be worth something to somebody if somebody can get their hands on it. And then, when you're dealing with athletes, they also have personal possessions that's very, very valuable to them, that may be very dear to them. And it may not be something expensive. It may be a memorabilia or something like that. Athletes is big into that. So when people get their hands on something like that, it could be worth some money. But anyway, like I said, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, they were the victims of break-ins in their homes. And also a couple of other notable people. Portis, who plays for Milwaukee, his home was burglarized. He's actually offering a $40,000 reward for some of the items, or if he gets some of the items back. Of course, he want all his items back. Then Mike Conley, who plays for the Minnesota Timberwolves, while he was attending a Minnesota Vikings game. His house burglarized. And you all can look this up and see who all, like you can look up a list of professional athletes whose houses have been burglarized. So the FBI and most of the major sports organizations issue warnings to the players. And this is something they take it very seriously. It says right here, as I read from Newsweek, I got this from Newsweek, the NFL is warning team security directors and the players union about recent burglaries targeting professional athletes' homes. So they send these alerts and these warnings to NBA players and also the NFL and hockey. They probably send some to the baseball players. But they season is over right now. So the active seasons that happen during the winter time is usually football, hockey, and basketball. But they sent out a bulletin to all the major sports organizations organizations. Law enforcement officials had noted these groups appear to exploit team schedules to target athletes' home on game days. The bulletin said it is important for players to maintain situational awareness, practice social media safety, and implement home security measures. And it also said the FBI is investigating the incident as international organized crime. And that could be true. People be traveling around the world. They be hitting licks all over the world. They will travel to another country. I heard about a story. Like they say, I think this is Los Angeles, where people come up from Mexico and they go to like these mansions and that type of thing and rob those places and go back to Mexico. It's been in the media. These people know how to get in your house if they really want to. They know how to go around those security measures. A lot of these people who commit these crimes have worked in those security industries. A lot of people who commit all these scams and stuff like that, they worked in that industry, whatever industry they pulling the scam on. Travis Kelce had $20,000 in cash stolen from his house. Of course, a lot of these people, they can't really speak on a lot of things because it's an ongoing investigation. Then you had Linval Joseph, a Dallas Cowboys and former Minnesota Vikings defensive tackle. He was targeted at his home in Sunfish Lake, Minnesota. A lot of stuff going on in Minnesota. Mike Conley, he had jewelry stole from him. So the NFL bulletin claims that the group are gathering information on potential victims from public records, media reports, and social media. Yeah, they're watching all of that. Some groups also conduct extensive surveillance on targets, their residences, neighborhoods, and security measures. Surveillance tactics have included attempted home deliveries and posing as grounds maintenance or joggers in the neighborhood. Yeah, that sounds pretty sophisticated. You see stuff like that in movies, and they do travel to other countries to pull off these burglaries. You know. But anyway, the burglars enter through side doors, balconies, or second floor windows. So they like scaling the house, and they getting up from the upstairs. It'll probably be a little tougher to get in from the downstairs. The burglar, yeah, that's what it says. Burglars have scaled walls or use patio furniture or ladders to gain access. Yeah. They're looking at your schedule so they know you're on the road or something like that. They focus on master bedrooms and closet areas, looking for high-end jewelry, handbags, cash, and watches. Yeah, they buy expensive watches and all of that. So a lot of them don't have a lot of cash on them. So to get $20,000, that's a good lick for a night. Yeah. Make sure y'all click that like button, click that subscribe button. I appreciate it. I would like to see this channel reach 10 subscribers. 10 subscribers. I'm trying to get there, and I need y'all help to get me there. I found something else that was just real interesting, and the FBI, they received information that connected many burglaries of athletes and high net worth people's homes to transnational South American theft groups. They allegedly are well organized. They're sophisticated. They use techniques and technologies, including pre-surveillance, drones, and signal jamming devices. That's pretty sophisticated. I mean, you had to be, tech savvy to pull off these type of things, and like, it's a movie out there. I believe it's an old movie, throwback movie called Italian Job. They didn't even have half of this type of stuff, but it was pretty sophisticated. Mark Wahlberg was one of the stars in that show right there, in that movie rather. You can go back and check that out. But there's plenty burglary type movies out there, and a lot of these outfits, they be real sophisticated. They be well connected. They can get their hands on things. They have money to spread around and buy, pay people to do things, And a lot of this stuff can be, it can start gang wars. It can. But then a lot of them is probably not violent, So, but this stuff right here can definitely can affect economies and how economies work. And I'm gonna get into that in just a minute. But that's pretty deep though. But this is still an ongoing investigation. I don't think it's nothing concrete yet. At least it's not been reported. And how y'all gonna bust up some international ring from down there in South America without the cooperation of the government of South America? I mean, you just can't go down there and just start arresting people and just bringing them back on planes or whatever. So, what's y'all plan to handle that situation if they coming from down there? But according to this from CNN, that the information that the FBI rather has gotten information that connected these burglaries. We'll see how that go. But a lot of this stuff, at least some of the products or whatever they be taking, they be taking jewelry, paintings, people be into different things, and people sell all of that stuff on the black market. It's the underground. So there's always a third world out here or a fourth world because they got countries out there they consider like third world. But just because the country is not as third world or considered third world, that don't mean they poor over there. But I would say this fourth world, And most cities out there is considered to have what's called a third city. That's the underground life. But what is the black market? The black market is a clandestine market or series of transactions that have some aspect of illegal activity or is characterized as by non-compliance with an institutional set of rules. It operates illegally within its particular country. The market develops quickly to fulfill unmet needs wherever there is demand for a product but restricted supply. It's generally considered illegal trading of goods. Drugs is a good example of that. And I want to go over a list of some of the things that can be considered to be sold on a black market. Let's go here. I like to look this stuff up while I'm live. It's the LG experience. That's how I do it. It's non-scripted. Non-scripted. I have my talking points. I have all that laid out. But I pretty much go off the hip. Pretty much unscripted, just like I said. Here goes some of the stuff that can be found on the black market: alcohol, animals and animal products, illegal drugs. Illegal drugs is a big part of the black market. That's why I say drugs will never stop. I mean, you're supposed to be putting up this fight against drugs, but yet it pours in this country consistently for centuries, you might as well say. That's a fact. And I also say a lot of that drug money, which goes into the billions of dollars, that's untaxed money. That money is not being accounted for. So in this country, when you look at the GDP of all the countries around the world, it'll say China's had this GDP. It'll say USA had its GDP, and that's pretty much tell how good your economy is doing in your country. But they don't count that black market money. They try their best to burn money, but it's just too much money out here that's not being accounted for. And by me looking into the market and investing in the market, you can see it. People have been making millions of dollars. They know how to dance all around the system and really pull off these millions of dollars, and they don't get charged with anything. They can have a real influence on the market, but those people don't get locked up. But if I try to be an influence on the market, there's something wrong with that. Or when people get all together and they put their money together and they bum rush the market, they can make a real difference, and they don't like that because it throws the economy off, it throws the market off, it throws the GDP off. And while I'm talking about the money, I got a list of these cryptocurrency. These considered like shit tokens. Toshi, Selfie Dog, Giga, it's Giga. Somebody was telling me about them like them altcoins or whatever. Andy is another one people encourage me to look into. Land Wolf. But right now I'm trying to go around my schedule and see how I want to do this trading nowadays because I want to get more active. I'm listening to more how to trade futures and different things. But that's just a list of stuff people was telling me about. Back to this list right here. So illegal drugs. But what surprised me where it says illegal log timber. Man, I didn't know there was a black market for that. That's like stealing wood, But this is timber before it get to the point where it's chopping the wood up. Logging is like knocking down the tree while it's still rooted. And that's a big industry right there. I'm trying to get another list. I had another list up here. Must have moved it on to something else. But anyway, on this list is personal information. That's definitely big in the black market. People will sell your information. You say how you get all those phone calls, like I'm getting them. It's getting around the time to re-enroll for health insurance, and I'm getting calls all day from people trying to, get me to get health insurance. Uh, but it's time I got to get on there myself. I know how to do it myself, so I don't need nobody to actually sign me up to that. Um, okay, here go this other list right here, but it's finished going through this one. It's the LG Experience. Click that like button. Click that subscribe button. I appreciate it. Like I said, this stuff gets deep. Sexual exploitation, enforced labor, facts, tobacco, and weapons. We know weapons. So the impact of the black market. Traditionally, underground market activity was conducted in cash, one of its defining aspects. See, a lot of this stuff getting done in cash. But now, since, we got you online, you're able to move money around without it being tracked. So, but this was done, they in the beginning, before rather, they did this to avoid creating any paper trails. you know. But with the internet, all these underground market transactions are now done online, or what they call the dark web. You can get all kind of dark stuff on the dark web, especially using digital currencies, uh, shadow markets, and because of the nature, illegal markets can take a toll on an economy. That's why I was just telling y'all a few minutes ago. It can take a toll. It really can. Like if you was to count up all the cash that was actually in this country, or money that's being transferred other places, but if you just count up like all the cash, it'd be too much money. Like literally, like all the money that's not being taxed, that's not being accounted for. If you put that in the GDP, you will have inflation out of this doggone world. Like the market would straight crash, literally, because that's just way too much cash money. When you get too much of something, it turns into like a balloon and it becomes worthless. Whenever you get too much of something, it becomes worthless. In this case, if you got too much cash, it becomes worthless because it has no real value behind it. But anyway, the economy, it takes a toll on the economy, and since they are shadow markets where economic activity is not recorded and taxes are not paid, it is often assumed that a country's gross domestic product, that's the GDP is the acronym for that. It's not its actual GDP. Did you hear that? I repeat, it is not its actual GDP because it do not take into account all the business activities conducted in underground markets. Yeah. And it's considered fraud. It's fraud all day for sure. You're not paying taxes. It's like working a job and getting paid cash. They call that being paid under the table. Yeah, for sure. Let's go back to this other list right here. So we got, I said illegal drugs. We got counterfeit goods, human trafficking, which is a big market, illegal wildlife trade. Those exotic animals, a lot of those animals be endangered species. So you got that on this list. And it also says human organs. I think we all know about that. Everyday goods to avoid taxes. Maple syrup, baby formula. I read that somewhere else. They say baby formula is like a real big in the black market. So those were the most common things that sold in the black market. I don't know if a list of that stuff was actually in these people's homes, but I'm sure they got some memorabilia has been taken. Something maybe some type of exotic painting or sculpture or something they got from some country because they travel around the world. And it has a lot of value to it. But I don't know which one is the top one people be trying to sell in the black market. But it's billions and billions, and I say $1 trillion being made in the black market that's not being accounted for. This is every day. They making cash money hand over fist. They know how to go around all these systems, security systems, these laws, and all that type of stuff. It'd be a worldwide ring. So it may catch a few people, but they'll never take it down. It is what it is. But I hope they get their stuff back. It's the LG Experience. I want to thank y'all for listening to this podcast. One love. Peace.